Welcome back. The Office of Personnel Management will take back control of the Chief Human Capital Officers Council. It's another nail in the coffin for the merger between OPM and the General Services Administration. Terry Gerton's president and CEO of the National Academy of Public Administration. She's former Deputy Assistant Secretary at the Labor Department. Terry, welcome. It's good to see you. What's going on here exactly? What is OPM going to do that it did before and then didn't do for a while and is now doing again?
Well, Francis, that's a great question, right? Some people would say that continuing to do the same things and expecting different results is crazy. But I really think this time is different. If the pandemic has taught us anything, it's that we need to think differently about the most important asset that the government has, and that's its people. And, our recently congressionally directed report on OPM strongly recommended that OPM use the CHCO Council as a strategic partner to deal with all of the challenges in federal human capital management. And the CHCOs are hungry to serve in this capacity. They have great ideas to share. So we have our fingers crossed. This could be tremendously motivational for the CHCOs and transformational for the federal civil service if it's played well.
And talking to the CHCOs myself, what they have yearned for, regardless of the structure, is an OPM that provides them backup and provides them robust resources to be able to find the people they need and then share that information across their cohort. Is that what you see happening as a result of Kiran Ahuja standing up and saying, not only are we taking this back, we're going to make this, we're going to revitalize the CHCO Council?
I think you're right. I think the initial signs are really positive. And if I were creating a short list for Director Ahuja, I think I'd start with three things. One is that they really would work collaboratively with the CHCO Council to address these pressing issues. I mean, they have an urgent need to recruit and retain the next generation of federal workers. They've got to rebuild the federal HR staff capacity. And so engaging the CHCOs in promoting this kind of innovation and sharing promising practices is the first step. And then engaging the CHCOs in policy development and review. And that happened as they were thinking about these return to office policies. The CHCOs know what it's like on the ground, and so they can be both a formal and an informal feedback channel on policies. And the third is that OPM and the CHCO Council, if they partner effectively, can join the other CXO councils in creating an integrated government HR strategy that gives all of the agencies the HR expertise and access to recruiting and talent that will help them accomplish their mission.
Yeah, and what you're suggesting there, Terry, I think really is the nirvana that we would be looking for, those of us in and out of government that care about how the government operates. And that's all of those councils, all of those CXO councils working together, some type of inter-council collaboration that I don't know that we've ever seen on a formal basis before, have we?
Not really. And I think that was one of the underlying ideas about why they wanted to move the CHCO Council to GSA, because GSA has the administrative responsibility for all of the other councils. But I think for program and policy alignment, the CHCO Council best fits with OPM. So now it's up to OPM and GSA to make sure that they do that effective integration, that they bring the CHCO Council's HR expertise to the other CXO councils and really then approach the government management challenges in a very collaborative way.
You're right about that being one of the original intents of moving the CHCO Council to GSA, because that Margaret Weichert talked about that originally, that the other policy shops basically lived in GSA and those should be there too. What do you believe would ensure that that collaboration happens? Is it just a matter of the administration officials that are responsible for it driving it, or are there other things, are there informal things that the CHCOs on their own or as a council should do to try to connect with the other councils?
Well, some of that was happening kind of offline during COVID as the CHCO Council met independently. But I really do think if Director Ahuja and the new director of GSA, administrator of GSA, intentionally work this, that there's real opportunity to bring them together. They have a new executive director for the CHCO Council, I think there's interest in elevating the participation of the council members in the policy role with OPM. And so as that happens and people start to believe it because they see it, I would expect real progress in that space.
All right, this is playing out along the lines of what you and your colleagues at NAPA released in that report that you talked about. What would be next according to the blueprint that you and your colleagues laid out, Terry?
Well, one of the things that could happen right away, we recommended that Congress amended the CHCO Council law to add a rotating vice chair from the CHCO Council. I think the director of OPM could practice that even without a change in law. And that would be a really positive thing, so that the CHCO Council would know that they're partners, not just information receivers. And the second thing that I would dearly love to have happen, and I think many of us who watch this space have recommended it for a long time, is that OPM could use the expertise on the CHCO Council and the CHCOs from other agencies who aren't represented on the council to form that cross-cutting task force that could go back in and examine all the human capital regulations and to identify the set of changes that would offer the greatest potential to improve the effectiveness of federal human capital management.
Terry Gerton, thanks very much.
Happen.
Thanks for coming on. It's great to have you on the program.
Francis, always a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.